All right, let's dive into something that, let's be honest, affects pretty much all of us: our relationship with social media. It can feel complicated, right? Sometimes it's draining, sometimes it even feels a little bit toxic. But what if I told you the problem isn't the apps themselves, but actually how we're using them? Let's try to reframe this whole thing.
I want you to really let this sink in for a second. We hear it all the time. Social media is the bad guy, the villain of our modern story. But what if it isn't? This is the real issue. It's the mindless autopilot scrolling, that reflexive tapping we do without even thinking about it. That's the habit that gets us. And the good news is, it's a habit we can actually change.
So many of us think the only solution is to just go cold turkey, delete everything, disappear from the internet. But that all or nothing approach, it almost never sticks for the long run.
And this right here, this is the crucial shift we're aiming for. It's not about quitting, it's about learning to use these powerful tools intentionally so that they finally stop using you. Okay, so let's start with the absolute foundation of this idea. We spend so much time and energy blaming the platforms, but the truth is, we might be pointing the finger in the wrong direction.
On one side, you have the usual suspects, right? The common blame, it's a distraction, it causes anxiety, it makes us compare our lives to others. But the reality is, social media is a neutral tool. It's kind of like a shovel. You can use it to dig a ditch, or you can use it to plant a beautiful garden. The tool itself isn't good or bad. Its effect depends entirely on how you decide to use it. So the big question is, how do we start using this tool better? Well, it all begins inside our own heads, with our mindset. We've got to shift from that unconscious reflex to a conscious choice, and it starts before you even open the app. This is maybe the single most important question you can ask yourself. Seriously, the next time your thumb just automatically drifts over to that Instagram or TikTok icon, just pause, just for a second, and ask yourself, why? Why am I opening this right now? Just breaking that autopilot cycle is the first and, honestly, the most powerful step. And look, your answer could be anything. Maybe you genuinely want to learn something new, or connect with a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Maybe you just want to relax for 5 minutes or find some inspiration. Having a clear purpose, whatever it is, transforms that mindless scroll into a deliberate action. Suddenly, you're in the driver's seat. Now, this idea of being intentional also applies to what we post. Think about it. So much of the anxiety around social media comes from posting to impress someone. We're chasing likes, comments, external validation. But when we shift our goal from impressing to expressing, that creates so much freedom. It's not about a performance anymore. It's about sharing who you genuinely are. And expressing yourself doesn't have to be some grand, poetic statement. It can be super simple. Share an interesting idea you had. Show some progress on a personal project, no matter how small. Or just post about something you're curious about. When you start doing this, that whole comparison game just starts to lose its power over you. Think about how you feel after 30 minutes of just scrolling. A lot of the time, you feel kind of drained, right? That's what endless consumption does. But the act of creation, even something tiny, does the complete opposite. It actually engages your brain and restores your energy. And again, creation does not mean you have to become a full-time influencer. We're talking about really simple acts. Write a short post about your thoughts, record a quick voice note, share a photo that you find interesting, not just one you think will get a ton of likes. These small actions are what flip the switch in your brain from passive to active. Okay, so we've worked on shifting our mindset. That's huge. Now, let's talk about turning that mindset into practical, everyday habits. And this isn't about extreme bans. It's all about building smarter boundaries. This is the core philosophy right here. Extreme rules are like a stone wall. They're rigid and they tend to crumble under the first sign of pressure. What we really need are consistent boundaries. Think of them more like a garden fence. They're flexible but firm, and you can actually maintain them for the long haul. So here are 3 simple, but honestly super powerful places to start. Number 1, use your phone's built-in features to set daily time limits for the apps you struggle with. Number 2, create app-free mornings. Give yourself the first hour of the day without social media. Let your own thoughts be the first ones you hear. And number 3, a classic for a reason, no phones during meals. Be present with your food and, more importantly, with the people you're with. And this might just be the most important boundary of all. The goal isn't just to use social media better. It's to remember that most of your life, the best parts of it, happen away from a screen.
So you've got to actively schedule time to reconnect with the real world. Go for a walk in nature. Have actual face-to-face conversations. And this last one, oh man, this is a big one. Embrace boredom. The next time you have a spare minute, just let your mind wander without immediately reaching for your phone. These offline moments are what recalibrate your brain and give you a much-needed sense of perspective.
So after all of this, what's the big takeaway? The main thing to remember is that social media doesn't need to be kicked out of your life. It just needs to be put back in its proper place.
At the end of the day, true control doesn't come from just deleting the apps in a moment of frustration. It comes from awareness. It's about knowing why you're logging on, how you want to feel, and recognizing when it's time to log off.
Okay, so now I want to turn it over to you. After hearing all this, what is one small, manageable habit you want to try and change? It could be anything. No phone in the bedroom, unfollowing a few accounts that make you feel bad, anything at all. Go ahead and drop your idea in the comments below. I'd love to see what you come up with. And hey, if this helped you see things in a new light, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe for more insights on how to navigate this wild modern world.
Always remember that. The healthiest feed you can have, well, it really starts inside your own mind. Thanks for watching,